This is the countdown to the close. 44 minutes left to go here in the trading day. A risk-on day to be sure. The S&P 500 at one point got up almost about 10 points away from that all-time high, which is right around 4704 and change, up 2% here on the day. There's your 10-year yield. You see the risk appetite reflected in what's going on with Bitcoin. This is the ProShares ETF up 4% here. Of course, after that massive sell-off that we saw over the weekend, of course, into Monday. The VIX back down to 22 right now, and you flip up the board and you take a look at those individual names. Big tech stocks, they're back out in front. Tesla up above 1,000. Once again, NVIDIA and the chip stocks absolutely on fire. Just yesterday, we were talking about the SIA report, basically saying that, look, there's some slowdown and momentum here. Investors don't seem to be buying that. NVIDIA, AMD, AMAT, a whole like, all pushing the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index back to a record high. Energy stocks getting a little bit of a bid here on this day, and all the consumer staple stocks that we have talked so much about over the last couple of days that have gotten a bid, starting to sell off today. McCormick, the spice maker, just reflective of that, down about 3% here on the day. All right, let's bring into this conversation Taylor Riggs, as we do every day at this time, I think, for Options Insight. At least we do that every day. Normally Abigail, but Taylor, you're going to do your best Abigail Doolittle impression. What are you watching today?
You know, it's so funny when you talk about sort of the snapback, right? We're higher and then we're lower and then we're higher. This really started pretty much the Friday after Thanksgiving. We were talking a lot about how that felt like, well, maybe just a light liquidity sort of day, and yet it's been continuing for a few weeks. That's really where I want to start with Alec Neckman, of course, of bullseyeoption.com, and we do that in today's Options Insight. And I love the headline of your latest report. It is the snapback attack again. What do you make of sort of these sort of snapback rallies and the buy the dip opportunities?
Well, it's happened every time before, and I expect it to happen once again. And you saw a big drawdown. And this week we tested and rejected those recent lows, and you see it turn around. Now, every time the market sold off, it's bounced back the distance of the drop on that old top. So that targets 5,000 in the S&P. Now, let's remember, that's happened every time in stock market history until it doesn't.
You know, yesterday on this program, we were talking a lot about the VIX and that the VIX wasn't maybe buying into the rally. What is the VIX with a 22 handle telling you?
Well, it's dropped 40% in just a couple of sessions. So we've seen this repeated whack-a-mole where it pops up and gets beaten down very, very quickly. So for me, it's not as important how the market acts, it's how it reacts. And it's reacted every single time in the last years with a series of lower highs. And that's very much a positive for stocks. Now, 25 is the key level in the VIX. That's the halfway point of the year high to low, and we're right back below that. And we've still got a lot of downside to get down to that 14 level that we had mid-summer. So there's no complacency, more downside for the VIX, more upside for stocks.
Talk to me about the upside that you see in crude with a $71, $72 a barrel. It's been volatile and come down, but at least today making its way back up. What do you make around the crude trade?
Well, still, that's a positive. You know, last week everyone was concerned, a couple weeks ago, concerned about the higher prices of energy. Energy's come off significantly. Interest rates have come off significantly. So these are all positive for stocks in the macro picture. Crude oil here at the 65 level is the halfway point of the high to low for the year. So that's an important pivot. It's held above 65. I like British Petroleum. Now, it's a stock that's 10% off its top, and it's been trading between 20 and 30 for the year. And so I'm leaning on that 25 as a trader. It's still up 30% on the year in 2021, even though it's pulled back on this profit-taking pullback in energy.
Love having the trades and the insight and a wide-ranging conversation. Alec Neckman of bullseyeoption.com. Really appreciate you joining us here for Options Insight today.